Ever since the end of season 1 of JJK, people have been yapping, they've been talking, they've been preaching about the Shibuya incident arc. And last year, beginning of last year, before season 2 even started, Shibuya, 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 get ready. According to a lot of JJK fans, this arc was guaranteed going to compete with some of the best arcs in all of shonen history. And even though a few folks were hyping up, let's say, the hidden inventory arc because of mainly one GOAT Toji, absolutely, he is a godsend. He is a blessing that has descended on high to grace the anime and manga ecosystem. This dude is lovely. I love Toji. And yes, if you don't know, now you know. Forever a Toji simp right here. That arc was a good arc, but not the arc that was getting the love. The love was Shibuya. And Shibuya is now finally over. Oh man, it is a roller coaster ride with ups and downs. Ups and downs. It is not a perfect arc, but how good overall is the arc in your personal opinion, Monsieur KingOfLightning? What are the good? What are the bad? There's a lot to say. There's a lot to say, for damn sure. But what I will say, if you don't know, now you know, I have been doing anime live reactions for season 2 on my Cole-san YouTube channel, first done on my Patreon. 1. 2 is that if you enjoy your boy's video content at large, then of course, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on that bell to join the notification squad. Let's talk about the good and the bad of the Shibuya incident arc. Overall, the good. Honestly, damn near everything. I can see why so many folks were just yapping, were just talking, whether it was doing my streams, whether it was before the arc even started, whether it was when the season 1 ended. I can see why cats were yapping. Shibuya's arc is an arc that's hard to forget. Even come 5 years down the line, this arc is going to be in the minds of so many anime manga fans. Number 1 is visually outstanding. The animation on an episode to episode basis is very damn good, undeniably. When it came to the intensity of certain moments, like the reveal of Brainiac Ghetto, or Gojo completely suppressing and shutting down Hanami, or when Toji slips through the opening that Megumi made and he enters Dago, or obviously when Sukuna pulls out the Fuga, the fight between Choso and Yu. Yeah, when it comes to animation, this arc is stunning and it hits on so many fronts. And obviously there's a long list of animators, like you have Vincent Chansard, you have Sota Yamazaki, you have Dorian Kulan. There's just a long list of people that took part in the creation episodes that were damn near trending on a weekly or like bi-weekly basis. They were just constantly trending over and over and over again. Animation quality is important, and they were 5 out of 5 in this arc for damn sure, without a doubt. Then you have what actually happened, the substance, the meat. This arc does do a pretty damn good job of world building. Urame is revealed. We find out in the case of Geto and Toji that the body can actually at times overcome the soul given certain conditions. We find out in a earnest to goodness sense how important Gojo Satoru is to the safety of Japan. We're quite literally, if Gojo is shielded, suppressed, we in trouble, bro. This man is literally the Superman of Japan. And when he is out of the picture, all the villains come out to play. Oh yeah, oh absolute. Especially after we have Geto, or actually I should say Brainiac Geto, when they unleash apparently 10+ million curses throughout the entirety of Tokyo and Japan. Yeah, and there's no Gojo Satoru. Oh, it's heartbreaking, bro. Because you know Gojo will just run through all of Japan and just destroy millions of curses in a single day. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I hope time passes faster in that cube than in actual real world, because it's gotta be boring as hell just chilling in that box. But then from there, finding out things like Japan have known about the curses for a very long time. The actual government. Mr. Wow Miguel is a rare breed of person in the world, because not that often do we see people that have cursed energy outside Japan. So the world building in this arc takes leaps forward that I think are very, very important, very pivotal to understanding what's going on in this universe, this ecosystem. I mean, even things like a counter to a domain expansion with the simple domain now exists, and that I think is a pretty damn dope thing, since domain expansions, they seem pretty damn busted, but there is a way to counter that. Even, let's say, more information about the Supreme Art, or like Supreme Arts, like the Uzumaki or the Meteor. They are another ultimate expression of the curse technique of a sorcerer or a curse. So yeah, world building, just on point. Characters. Characters were great. Brainiac Ghetto, very interesting here. Going back to the Heian period, like 1,000 years ago in Japanese history, finding out that their intentions of trying to create this chaos beyond their control to reach a something and new heights of what humanity and cursed energy can become. Things of that sort, and how they are involved in the creation of Choso and his brothers, which could potentially tie to Yuji, which is why Yuji and Choso have a brotherly bond link, and not the same that's going with Todo and Yuji, which could involve his own powers potentially. So like, there are things there that obviously need more fleshing out in the future. And honestly, at this point in time, even though Sukuna, he's studly, he's amazing, menacing, phenomenal, the characters that carry this arc the most, Yuji and Mahito. Full stop. Yuji, Mahito. Villains can make or break arcs. As a old Naruto fan, I know. I had to deal with Kaguya. Oh, I had to deal with Obito. Oh, I had to deal with bad villains. But then you had good villains like Madara Uchiha. Like, oh. Mahito, honestly, is a damn good villain. Mahito's really good. Really damn good. However, let's now segue into the bad. Now we get to the bad parts. Because, listen, character, great. World building, great. The pace overall, the arc, I think is actually pretty damn solid. I see no problems with the pace, per se. Not really. Mahito going out the way he did, I thought was lackluster. All right? I thought was kind of mid. Which is why I'm kind of banking that Mahito is still active in some way. Given his powers, it should be possible for sure. But if he is truly nixed, he's truly gone, it is kind of a sad state that he did went out on, honestly. Even though he was set up to go out with a howl, a raging, it was more like a bark from a chihuahua, like not even like a speed bark. A very, like, okay, whatever, dog, like shut up. So Mahito does get that kind of send off, which does obviously subvert expectations clearly, which a lot of times is good, but also can be bad if done poorly. And I would say Mahito, you can argue his passing away was more on the poorer side. Yeah, it could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot better. However, the real subverting expectations that could have really, you know what? We'll have to wait and see, because I'm banking on 5% chance they're alive. I'm talking about Kugisaki Nobara. I did a video about this situation over here. Check it out. During that video, I literally played clip after clip after clip after clip of other content creators getting to the point where they're like, yo, I may have to just drop this show. On God. And on Twitter, afterwards, when I watched the episode, I did see there was a lot of people like, yo, this ain't it. Because you take out, potentially, the main female lead. That is going to rub so many cats. That right there is a good way to get a lot of folks on tilt, especially when it's just season 2 of the series. And the main female lead, it is what it is. They represent more than just the characters themselves in the story itself. But a lot of people who watch stories, they get attached to certain characters, particularly for, let's say, long-running series like a JJK, and there are certain clear investments that should go for the long haul. One of the worst things about Nobara's quote-unquote passing is the loss of potential, where we could have seen so many phenomenal things in the future with Nobara and how it should have impacted, mainly positively, but maybe at times also negatively too. Usually the main character, the protagonist, other characters like Megumi and Gojo, let's say Yuta, right? Because Yuta's back now, but Nobara and Yuta, guess what? That's out the window. You're gonna feel very differently about a grandchild passing away compared to a grandparent passing away. The grandchild had all their life ahead of them. There was so much they could have done for themselves, for their families, for the world, and so on and so forth. And Nobara is obviously in that sort of camp rather than the latter camp. And it does hurt particularly hard when you take out Nanami, and then Kugisaki goes, like, what the hell? Yo, yeah. So what I did see afterwards online was a lot of folks, it was weird. Out of nowhere, cats started to hate Nobara. Nobara would have done nothing anyway. It's like, whoa, whoa. How do you know that? What? Well, she was trash anyway. How? Wait, when was Kugisaki a bad character? Never have I ever heard that she was a bad character up until she passed away. And that cat, well, it's fine because Kugisaki wasn't gonna do much, or she was worthless, or who really cares? Like, some of y'all are tripping. That, I think, overall is like some sort of version of cope to try and alleviate or justify what is seen by many fans, including myself, to not be a good thing for the story. And for me, the main thing isn't, let's say, Nobara's passing that's bad per se. It's her passing this early on in the story, particularly after Nanami passed. Because now that means to me, because I'm seasoned, all right? Oh, I've been in the game for a minute.
I know it all.
I've seen things. I've watched a lot of different series. And for me, this kind of goes along the tracks of Akame got killed. In the future, especially after it was revealed that the next arc is called the Culling Games, the Purge, the Culling Games. Guess what? Die. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be really horrific stuff, okay? A lot of therapists are gonna be seeing a lot of JJK fans coming out of that arc, for damn sure. But to me, the principal reason why, outside of potential, is predictability. I think the story becomes a lot more predictable now in the future because of the death, again, 5% chance he's alive, but because of the death of Kugisaki Nobara, particularly her. Because when she's kicked the bucket, now I can see the Akame got killed tracks. And now I can think to myself, come the end of the series, there's a good damn chance that every character in the story of major importance is gonna probably kick the bucket outside of, let's say, Yuji. So Megumi could pass away. I'm banking heavy. I will put money that Gojo, guaranteed. Gojo is guaranteed going to die. I've always said before, same thing with Todo. I think Todo is also a guaranteed death. The same for Maki. The same for, let's say, a lot of the Kyoto cats. We already know that the principal is on the chopping block because he is associated with Geto and Gojo and all that stuff. You name it. A host of characters I can easily see on the chopping block. Todo and Gojo, Prima 2. I could be wrong, of course, and I hope I am wrong. But those are like the Prima 2 guys I can see just getting KO'd like, permanently. And as a result, what does that mean? For a long-term series like this, you cannot get attached to the characters, which I think is an important thing if you want to have long-term fans. Not to say that cats won't be attached to the characters, no, but if you have that expectation of these characters are going to die in, like, let's say, even gruesome ways, then you can never fully commit yourself to that character, and you're always gonna, let's say, be watching them from a distance, not being, side by side next. Because once they do die, you don't want that blood on your shirt. You see what I'm saying? It's like having a friend that owns a McLaren versus actually having your own McLaren, all right? So there's differences in impact and weight that JJK potentially may not have again in the future, because honestly, as far as I've heard, Shibuya Incident is the peak of JJK. No other arc in the future culling games, whatever happens afterwards, I have no idea. But no other arc in the future have I ever heard is on the same level as the Shibuya incident arc. In my mind, the story again does become a little bit more predictable as the story continues down the tracks. Though to be fair, I am more seasoned in the game, and I still could be wrong. I could be capping. Yeah, I could be capping, maybe. I have no idea. But I'm confident in my assessments. I definitely am. So I would say overall rating for the Shibuya incident arc, I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. Yeah. I would say in terms of my favorites, it's in my top 20. It's not in my top 15, no. But let's say in terms of, not necessarily favorites, but quality. In terms of quality, is this in of itself a top 15 worthy arc and all shonen? Maybe. I'm not too sure, because there are so many arcs that I think are, in terms of quality, are superfluous. Like 3 of them on Hunter x Hunter. 3 of them. And JJK does take a lot from Hunter x Hunter. So, maybe. But that requires a longer, more robust video. And this video is more so focused on the vague, not necessarily any deep dives right now. So, I would say it's a 9 out of 10. There is the chance that the rating does change in the future retroactively, and it goes up or down. So it could go down to an 8.5, even an 8. Let's say let's say for example, if I'm right and Gojo does die, I think it may drop to an 8.5. But let's say if she comes back, if Nobra comes back, may go to a 9.5. So things of that sort, okay? So that right now is my stance overall on the Shibuya incident arc in Jujutsu Kaisen. I think this arc slaps. I think it slaps, baby. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely rewatchable. I may consider doing that in the future for the cats over on my Patreon. Link in the box below. But let me know your stance on the Shibuya incident arc, the good, the bad, and your overall rating. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I want to say 8.5 to be safe, but hey, you only have one life, 9 out of 10. But let me know, once again, I'm gonna catch you cats on the flip side.
See you. Bye-bye.